for the love of all that's holy, if you want to defend American democracy, stop repeating the BS line that we are not going to have midterm elections. Stop it. Stop it. I've had it up to here with this nonsense. This happens every few months. Every time Donald Trump makes a joke or a comment about elections, y'all freak the fuck out. And my comments are just full of people who are like, oh my God, he's going to cancel the midterms. I made a video, it was like 6 or 8 months ago. I was like, stop saying that. He has no legal authority to cancel the midterms. I'm so tired of doomers, especially, who keep repeating this bullshit. There's not going to be a midterms. There's not going to be a presidential election in 2028. You're full of shit. One, you are succumbing to bot bait. So many of the comments that y'all are believing you think are from organic human beings, and they're from bots. What is it? 51% of comments on the internet now are from bots. You're believing bots who are trying to get you to give up on elections, who are trying to get you to feel like elections are pointless and useless and you shouldn't even vote. That is why 6 or 7, 8 months ago, I made a video saying, stop saying this. We are not giving up elections in advance. We're not succumbing to, we're not so foolish as to be tricked, hoodwinked by bots in our comments, y'all. Likewise, you're not going to be tricked by Donald Trump. Stop letting Donald Trump future fake you. He can hint at, joke at canceling elections, but he's not going to do it. He doesn't have the authority to do it. And I'll get into that more in just a minute. Anything that comes out of the mouth of Donald Trump or anybody from this regime where they act like they are going to do something in the future that we all know is illegal, that is called future faking. It is making you think that he has already determined the future and that he has already won. He's already succeeded in taking away your rights. The correct response from freedom, democracy-loving Americans when you hear Donald Trump say shit like we're not going to have midterms is to say, the fuck we're not. We absolutely are having midterm elections. We're not conceding our elections to you. We're not handing over our elections to you. We're certainly as fuck not handing over the future of this country to you. Any other response from y'all? Like, no. Why would you give credence to anything Donald Trump says? Why would you repeat his lies and sane wash them? You sound like CNN when you do that. Come on, y'all. We are smarter and better and more tenacious than this. We're not getting tricked by bots. We're not getting tricked by Donald Trump. We're not getting future faked by Donald Trump and these cargo cult paper tiger fascists. If you want to defend midterms, you set the expectation that we will have midterms and that they will be free and fair. We acknowledge that Republicans are desperate to cheat because they are scared shitless. They looked at what happened in the elections in 2025. Oh, wait a minute. If everybody says elections are rigged and that Elon Musk is going to like Starlink zap the elections, then why is it the candidates that Elon Musk endorses don't get elected? Why is it the Democrats fucking cleaned up in the 2025 elections? If everything is rigged or we're not going to have elections, then why did we have so many of them in 2025? How did Zoran Mamdani get elected the mayor of New York if it's all rigged or we're not going to have elections at all? Explain that to me. You see why I'm getting frustrated with people who keep repeating this bullshit line of we're not going to have midterms. Baby, we're not going to have midterms. We are going to have midterms. I've been making an awful lot of videos over the last few days about how we have to exercise our rights to defend them. We have to insist upon democratic norms so that we can defend them. And it does require defense. We know that Republicans are going to try and cheat in the midterms. They're already gerrymandering Texas. They're already trying to suppress the vote, dump people off the voter rolls. They're making it as hard as possible for people to show up and cast their vote. Donald Trump is terrified of mail-in voting because it's highly accurate and results in a high voter turnout. He wants to suppress the vote because when you disenfranchise voters, when people cannot show up and exercise their right to vote, then Republicans win. If everybody gets to vote, the Democrats win. It's like Republicans are not good for the people and unpopular. So one, we will have midterms because we will insist upon them. If there is some kind of crazy move by the Republicans to say we're canceling midterm elections, then millions of us need to immediately be mobilized in the streets and we will stay there. We're not going to go to work. We're going to have huge labor and economic disruptions. We will all be in the fucking streets if these fashy fucks try and cancel the midterms. But they're not going to do that because it doesn't work that way. I think too many large creators who keep repeating this shit. Did y'all take high school government? I'm sorry to get a little sassy, but I think too many people didn't fucking take high school government. You can tell I'm worked up. I'm dropping a lot of F-bombs. I'm gonna try and rein it in a little bit. Okay. It was a long time ago for me. It was 30 years ago for me, but I still remember high school government. Guess what, y'all? The executive branch of the federal government does not set elections. The states set elections. And in the entire history of the United States, we have never canceled a federal election. Not during the Iraq War, not during the Vietnam War, not during the Civil War, not during World War I or World War II. We have never canceled federal elections in this country. And we're not going to fucking start now. God damn it. I failed at not dropping an F-bomb. You don't have to believe me. I know everybody loves Mark Elias. He's an actual skilled attorney, so let's reference what he has to say on the midterms. President Donald Trump said Wednesday that we shouldn't even have an election as he complained about the political risks his party faces in the 2026 midterms and boasted about his accomplishments. Of course, he's going to say we shouldn't have an election because he's a fragile narcissist who can't handle losing, because if he loses, then the Epstein files will be released. If he loses, then he cannot advance his authoritarian agenda. Like, of course he doesn't want to have elections. Like, yeah. I said this on Blue Sky the other day, but stop making me say fork founding kitchen. A fragile narcissist who wants to make himself into a monarch doesn't want to have free and fair elections in the United States? Shock. This remark is the latest in a series of statements in which Trump treats elections not as a constitutional requirement, but as an obstacle, even though he has no authority to cancel or suspend them. Right, Trump was basically having a meltdown about this because he saw what happened in the 2025 elections. And also, typically an unpopular president in the midterms sees the American people pissed off at the way that he's failing all of us overwhelmingly. And so they vote out his party in Congress, right? The midterms tend to be this flip in Congress when the president is doing an absolute ass job and the people are fucking fed up. God, I can promise that's the last of the swearing. It's some deep psychological thing, but when you win the presidency, you don't win the midterms, Trump said. He then boasted that he had accomplished so much that when you think of it, we shouldn't even have an election. Reuters has not yet made Trump's full comment available, so it's impossible to know whether Trump followed up by hedging or pulling back. He did later, after this was published, come out, or his spokespeople said, oh, he was joking. But he has flirted before with the idea of canceling elections, which are mandated by the Constitution and not subject to presidential approval. The founding fathers weren't complete idiots, y'all. Democracy Docket goes on to say, earlier this month during a speech to House Republicans, Trump framed voting itself as a partisan weapon. Right, of course he would see the democratic process as a weapon, as a threat to his authoritarian agenda, complaining about pro-voting democratic policies before attempting to preempt criticism. How we have to even run against these people, I won't say cancel the election, they should cancel the election. The fake news would say, he wants the elections canceled, he's a dictator, they always call me a dictator. Trump also used the event to muse about presidential term limits, referencing the 22nd Amendment, which limits the president to 2 terms. He can't lose power because then he would face justice under the law, right? So he has to stay in office forever. Otherwise, he's scared shitless about the Epstein files coming out and everything that would happen after that. To me, every time I hear Trump talk about wanting a 3rd term or messing with mail-in voting or canceling elections, things like that, I just think like, this is a man who's really, really scared. This is a dude who is scared and thinking all the time about what will happen to him when he loses power and has to face justice. This is a guy who's freaking, I'm not going to swear, who's freaking the F out. Okay, so Democracy Docket concludes, the law is clear. Trump or any president cannot cancel elections. The timing of federal elections is set by Congress, and the administration of those elections is handled by state and local officials. There is no legal mechanism for a president to declare elections unnecessary, to suspend them indefinitely, or bypass them altogether. So you don't have to take my word for it. Take Mark Elias's word for it. Stop spreading this fear-mongering nonsense that we're not going to have midterms. We expect to have midterms. We will all be voting. We are going to have massive voter turnout because when people get to express their right to vote, when they get to cast their ballot, guess what happens? Democracy happens. We expect democratic norms. We uphold democratic norms. We will all be voting in the midterms. And not only that, we're going to volunteer to be poll watchers. We're going to volunteer to keep tabs on what's happening, to campaign for candidates that we believe in. It is the most American thing to do, to vote. We are going to get so involved in the midterms and we are all going to vote because there will be elections in 2026 and also in 2028.